Although I claim dominion over all I see, it means nothing to me. There are no victories in all our histories without love. And though you hold the keys to ruin of everything I see, with every prison blown to dust, my enemies walk free. With all my kingdoms turned to sand and fall into the sea, I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. I have a crush. Can't you tell? And my crush doesn't even know she's my crush. That's the best part about a crush, right? I love this part of the relationship. This is my favorite part. This is what I call my breathless phase. This is when I'm quoting songs and poetry, and sometimes I'm even writing it, and it's just flowing, and the other person doesn't know, so I get to enjoy the energy without them fucking it up, without them saying or doing something that irks or turns me off, you know, because they don't know at this point. And I just befriended my crush. That was it. I didn't say anything else. I just befriended my crush, had some kind conversation, and that was it, you know? But I love this breathless phase because it's like, like, it's just such a beautiful feeling to have someone you're attracted to, but you're really not talking to them. Aquarius always do this. We have this tendency not to tell our crush they're our crush at first, because we want to watch them from back deep. We want to enjoy this energy and watch them from back deep. And then, if it's all good, that's when we go in. So, in the midst of me dealing with this energy, somebody said to me, Aquarius just aren't romantic enough. And I was like, excuse me? Are you serious? Aquarius is not romantic enough? No. We're going to get into this one because I got a lot to say about this. But first, I am Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to anybody and everybody that might like it too, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Also, if you please, if you have time, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read 2 positive comments from previous videos and respond to them. Likewise, if you would like to get a reading done, if you would like to talk to me on social media, if you have a general question for Ask an Aquarius, please feel free to hit me up. My email and all my information is underneath this video. If you would like to send me a gift from my Amazon wish list, because that's where this cool crown came from, feel free to check it out underneath this video. All right, guys, so let's get started. First of all, she said that Aquarius are not romantic. The first thing I want to say is that some Aquarius are not romantic. She's 100% right. It's not all of us that are romantic. Our sign is known for being a romantic sign, but it's not all of us. I have met a lot of Aquarius who did not have a romantic bone in their body. A great deal of them has some kind of an emotional problem, though. Either they were an emotional repressor or suppressor, or there was somebody who was hurt so deeply they shut off that part of themselves. You have to be emotionally awake, available, alive to be romantic, because you have to tap into that energy of romance, you know? And you can't tap into that energy of romance if your heart chakra and your feelings all up in here is shut off. So you will come across a lot of people of different zodiac signs who are emotionally unavailable. And a lot of them are just shut off from that vibration. Now, sometimes you'll find an emotionally unavailable person who can fake at romance, but romance itself is tied to the emotions. So they might be able to fake it, but they're not really going to be able to give a genuine feeling. And I do know Aquarius like this. If you come across one of these repressor Aquarius, as I call them, they very well may have that issue. And it's very unsavory to me, because I'm the kind of person, as you're getting ready to see, I'm the kind of person who has a great deal of romantic energy. So when I meet someone that is trying to be a suitor and I see that they're not, romantic, or if they tell me, oh, I'm not really into romance, or if they say some crap like that, or if they hint at that kind of energy, I don't proceed, because I know I'm not going to like it. Sex that has no romance, for me, is like masturbating. And if I'm masturbating anyway, you might as well go home. Okay? So if you're not going to come with no emotional energy, then you might as well not even come over here. So for me, it's not pleasant. I wouldn't want that person, and I wouldn't be in their life romantically, sexually, intimately, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't mess with them like that. So that's number one. You do have those kinds of people, but it's not all of us, because I'm going to tell you two things. Number one, I'm going to ask you a question. What do Lord Byron, Langston Hughes, Audre Lorde, let me see if there's any other ones you might recognize, James Joyce is another one. It's a whole page of them, so I'm only going to read like one more. Neil Cassidy and Andre Breton have in common? Well, they are all Aquarius. And they are all Aquarius who were into some form of art or poetry or something along those lines. Okay? Now, let's take it even further back. Where does romance come from? Romance comes from the French, first of all. And it's actually kind of a new concept. It wasn't always a concept that was talked about. But it came from the French. And those who are said to have popularized, created, wrote the books on romance are poets and artists. There are more Aquarius poets and artists than probably any other. That's what we do. We do poetry, we do art, we do, investigative work. We do stuff like that. But there's more. If you take a look at, and underneath this video, I'll put that list that I was just reading. But if you take a look at it, you'll see a lot of the greats were Aquarius. We wrote the book literally on romance. Okay? Us and our friends, because it wasn't just us, it was people from other signs too. But a large portion of the romantic movement from the beginning to current times is Aquarius. So you can't say that Aquarius are not romantic, just those ones that I mentioned before. And that's only like about, I'm going to give an estimate, 30% of our sign. There's another thing that you'll want to know too, coming from astrology. So not only are we the ones who created romance, but according to astrology, third Decan Aquarius, which I am one, and your Decan depends upon your birth date. So from a certain date to a certain date, you're in one of the Decans. I'll put the Decans underneath this video. As an Aquarius, you're either in the first, second, or third Decan. And actually, this is true for every sign. Every sign has a first, second, and third Decan. Okay? And it basically is the category of Aquarius you are. So I am a third Decan Aquarius. Okay? My papa, who is a February 2nd baby, is a second Decan Aquarius. So still Aquarius, just a different section. They break them into these dates, and these dates are broken into sections. The third decan Aquarius are ruled by Venus. And Venus is the planet associated with love and romance. So if you're a third decan Aquarius, my birthday is February 13th. I believe it starts on February 9th, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're a third decan Aquarius between the 9th and the end of Aquarius, then you are more likely to be romantic, because your other ruling planet, you have Uranus, you have Saturn, and then you have Venus. Every decan has their own planet. Ours is Venus. Venus is also the planet that rules Libra. So a lot of times third decan Aquarius get along really good with Libras because we have the same planetary energy on us. So basically the bottom line is that Aquarius, a lot of us, like I said, about 70% of us are extremely romantic. It's just those ones that I really feel like there's something going on with their emotions. And then of course you also have the Aquarius who are so logical. So to some of them, not even all of them, but to some of them it just doesn't make sense. Romance doesn't make sense to them. So it's not something they engage in because it doesn't make practical sense. So, like I said, it's not all of us, though. It's actually a very small portion. And those of us who are romantic, especially those of us in the third decan, a lot of us are traditional romantics at that. Like, we like the old songs, the old poetry. Oh my God, chocolates, teddy bears, riding on the waters of Venice in a big swan. I get so excited for Valentine's Day. Stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff. And a lot of us that are romantic are that kind of cliche, traditional kind of romantic. But you also have the more modern ones too, who like to do things outside the box but are still extremely romantic. They have all kinds of romantic ideas. I remember one time I had an ex, and for Valentine's Day, this is the last person I dated, as a matter of fact. And on Valentine's Day, she was sleeping, and I left all of her stuff on the couch because I bought her a jacket for Valentine's Day and some candy that she really loved and a bunch of other small stuff. And I took rose petals and left a trail from where she was in the room all the way down the hall, all the way down the steps to where her stuff was. So we do stuff like that. Some people may think it's corny, some people may think it's cliche, but a lot of us really do love that energy. So if you come across an Aquarius that's not romantic, that's not representational of me. That's not, and I'm a very Aquarius. That's not representational of all of us. Yes, there are some, and the ones I've met that are like that, I swear to you, I would be afraid to be in a relationship with them because they're so closed off. And if your energy is that closed off, if you're emotionally unavailable to the point where you don't even see a benefit with romance, or you're repressing and suppressing your emotions, then you're probably going to have a problem with communication. This leads to too many things. This person got too many issues for me, is the bottom line. So for me, this is not the kind of person that I would be with. I couldn't be with somebody like that. So it's not all of us. Don't put us all into that boat. Because I am very romantic, boo-boo. Do not put us all into that unromantic sinking boat. Caroline Smith. Hey, Caroline. Our first positive comment comes from Caroline. Caroline said, I think people don't deal with rejection well, so they get offended when someone doesn't want them. I agree 100%. But I'm going to tell you something. Rejection is, when somebody rejects me at this point in my life, I'm okay with it. I'm seriously okay with it, because every time I've ever been rejected, something better came along, or there was something wrong with that person or that situation that I wanted to be a part of. So I've learned that when rejection comes, it's usually a gift to me. Anything I've ever been rejected from, any person, any situation, it was always a gift to me. So I don't fight it. I just be like, okay. And it might hurt my feelings. I might feel some type of way about it. But I tell myself, you know what? Something good will come from this. And it always does. I usually end up happy that I didn't get whatever it was that I thought that I wanted. Sometimes we think we want something and then we get it and realize we didn't. Maria G. What's up, Maria? Maria said, what if your covert narcissist, Aquarius, misogynistic husband wants a divorce? Give him a divorce. Because if he is narcissistic and misogynistic, then he is abusive. You're taking some abuse in this relationship, either emotionally, mentally, physically, something ain't right. So if I were you, I would give him the divorce. He asked for it, give it to him. Obviously, if he's narcissistic and misogynistic, it's going to be very difficult to be able to work through that, because he has to want to work through it. He has to recognize it in himself, and he has to decide he wants to heal that, and he wants to change and step up and be a better husband. But that's not what he wants. He wants out. So let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Deal with your hurt, because you're going to have a lot of abuse from this. Deal with your hurt, grieve, do what you got to do for yourself. And then when you're strong again and you're ready, meet somebody else who's not narcissistic, who's not misogynistic, and who respects and loves you as a wife. This is something that gets me about a lot of people that come talk to me. A lot of people that come talk to me are in bad relationships, abusive relationships. And if you're in that kind of relationship, there is no turning that around. You can't make an abuser stop abusing you. They have to just decide one day, I don't like what I'm doing and I want to change. In the meantime, you're putting yourself in danger. So instead of asking what should you do, ask when. Right now. Right now. Google divorce lawyers and give him the divorce that he wants. And keep it chucking. Some people have a really hard time with moving on. Even if you have children together. If he's misogynistic and narcissistic and he's abusing you, his relationship with his children may or may not mimic that same energy. A lot of parents who are narcissistic and misogynistic put that same abusive energy on their kids. So let him go. Let him go. Maybe he'll heal himself and get himself together. One thing about life, if somebody's meant to be with you and you let them go, they'll get themselves together and they'll come back. And if they don't get themselves together, at least you didn't spend any more time being abused. Okay? All right, guys. Come back soon, because y'all know I got a lot more to say. See you later.